away so I don't forget. Okay, I'm set up. What a day. Oh my gosh. How is everybody? Cheers. He's speechless and shaken from my day. Shaking, shaking, shaking. Hey, Jinsu, Flamingo Energy, Pinky. Ooh, speaking of Pinky, Pinky Lee, where's Michelle Lee? Can I'm free. Loves you, Jinsu. Hi, David Barry, 75. 75. Oh, the 75. Hey, Genevieve and Lily. Here for the start. Yay, hope your day is going well. David, I would say my day is going really well, but like surreal and weird and jello-y. And when I went to get gas, which I was in line for like 15 minutes because it was really busy. Long story. Anyways, when I got to the tanks and the guy asked me, fill her up, I just looked at him. Yep, I just looked at him. And then I said something. I can't even remember what I said. And he just looked at me. I was like, yeah, just fill her up. So then he put the thing in the car, whatever, the nozzle, and he looks at me. He's like, do you have a cat? And I looked back and I was like, because it's got my tongue, right? That's how weird my day is. When the guy taking your car asks if you got a cat because cat got your tongue, because that's how, like, weird. Oh, good weird, though. Good weird. Good weird. Yeah. Whew. Hey, Mr. Hugh. How are you doing? Brett are off dead. Brett. He was thinking about you today, dude. I wondered when you would come in again or talk again. How's your day going, Brett? Oh, you know what's the weirdest thing, Brett? I always think that you're in, like, my neck of the woods. I always feel like you're East Coast, but you're not. You're West Coast. And that's rare that happens. Maybe it's because you're going to move to the East Coast someday. You feel like you're in the East Coast to me, but you're not. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Hi, Realize. Casey, thanks for coming. Oh my gosh. Hello, Blazing Blonde Beauty. It just looks blonde on camera. I'm actually like almost like, I'm very silvery white and gray with a lot of like light colors. There's copper, rainbow, there's like purple in here too, but you don't see those as much unless it's in the sun or you have the eyes to see. realize the eyes to see. How's your day going, Casey? Thanks for coming in. I forget what it was, but I had a Casey sync today, like literally seeing the name written down, and in the moment I was like, whoa, like it's just everywhere. Casey's everywhere right now. And that's the ultimate, because Casey is like my number one, almost number one, but one of my top 5 safe names. And what does that mean? I got names that like just are pure. Doesn't matter. Like it's pure. And Casey is one of them. And just, yeah. So having you come into my reality, Heidi has a Casey that she knows in her reality, and then just like the other little Casey stuff happening, syncs is just like, it's really awesome. Feels safe because it's my safe thing. Yeah. Oh, David Barry, 75. Oh my gosh. Or the crazy cat lady. Yeah, he probably recognized that I'm a crazy cat lady. We only have one cat, which really is enough. Sometimes he goes wild and he's like all over the place. You doing fine, Mr. Hugh? Right on. Good. Yeah, realize. Hey, chatters. Pray that everyone is safe and healthy. There's so much going on right now. There's not even words for it. And depending on like your reality, what community you live in, like sometimes your reality is that you're not even aware of what's going on, but the amplifications of the sirens again is past words in my area, and just there's just so much going on. So yeah, praying for the safety and the health. Sharing the love, share the kindness, right? Better off dead. I feel like I'm ready to get out of the States for sure. I've always been shocked. Like I'm a lifelong, like, you know, we're here to change the world and we're gonna change it. And I've always known about like soul tribes finding each other and soul families and such things. Like even before I read about it or that people talked about it, I knew this was going to happen at some point in our reality. But the one thing that I'm shocked about is that I just thought more stuff was going to happen of people like crossing borders and being in different areas faster. Not to say that like maybe it's 2022, right? That's going to be the wave of like people switching like, country to country and all that. And I say that people have done it. There's examples everywhere, but I just thought it would be more prevalent, especially within like my tribe vibe of who I know and stuff. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm just gonna. I swear this is one of the weirdest days ever. Realize. Gee, I apologize. I interrupted you over Matt's lots last night. Sis, I didn't. I think that it's so. It's just a panel's a panel, right? It's never the flow and how we're talking and just right. So it is what it is. Awesome. It is what it is. He loves you, Casey. I was happy that you came up. And here's the thing, Casey, too, is I stream by myself all the time. So I'm used to holding the room by myself. So when I go into panels, like obviously I'm gonna talk at some point, but I don't really need to. About that one time when you were saying stuff about like the dislike button being gone, which I totally understand your perspective and I get it, but the Jason Shirka has also like put out some videos saying this. You know what I mean? Like the more that things get taken away, the more right? It's actually instead of being mad, like every single time that you hear of it, you can't find a channel, or even if your own channel goes down, the more that it happens, the better that it is, right? Because the amplification of like it cannot be hidden that we are being hidden and taken away, right? And everybody needs their fucking buttons pushed everywhere in the collective. And what's going to push the buttons is all these things, right? Because some people have had almost 2 full years and have not stood up for anything. They have not, they don't care that everybody else, not everybody else, they don't care that other people are saying, like, we're in big trouble, we need to stop complying, and we, you know what I mean? But the more that we disappear or we're not you know what I mean? Like the more that it happens, the better that it is. And it's all conceived so that we get angry, and that perpetuates the fear and the anger vibration, which brings us all down as a collective. So when something happens that's like live it, get good and pissed about it, but then move right along, because the longer that you stay angry, we're feeding the matrix system of the fear. We can't get out of the matrix until we reach a tipping point of frequency, but our frequencies are constantly being pulled at right now to stay down, right? Everything is making everything everywhere to stay down. And then that's the thing. You can't keep us down, right? So I don't know if that makes sense. I'm having a weird day, so let me know if I make no sense. I'm just gonna stop streaming. Hey Paradox Fossils, how's everything going for you? BB, yeah, how's your bees? You got a fly, Jansu? Right on. 333 said that. Yes, realize. New Earth is forming worldwide. Exactly. It really is. And, you know, I've been on this journey and this path for a long time, right? So, and for years, like we can go back into my vids, like when I started this, one of the biggest messages that was coming through to me, and that we all have said out loud, or that we know, is expect the unexpected, because nothing is as it seems. But there was so many predictions, there's so many things that we think should happen or could happen or will happen, that, you know, like it's surreal what's actually happening. Yeah, Paradox, a new future better than the last one. Hey Bamboo Soldier, how's your day going? I'm going back to Cali. I don't think so. Bamboo, yeah, sorry Jen, I probably interrupted you a few times too, but it was a fun night. Yeah, it was an awesome night. I tuned out just because I did, and then I did a live stream myself. So I was pumped from being with you guys, right? And it was like, I usually fall asleep after, like, right, an hour and a half after the streams. But I was like, fuck that, I'm gonna do a night stream. Michelle had said she said it a few times, how she missed just those night streams, because when I do a night stream, I really don't even always check the chat. I'm not talking so much, and I'm just kind of sharing some energy, right? Whole other stream. And that's why sometimes it's hard. It's not hard, but it's different for me to be on the panel, because at night is when I move and sway the most. And sometimes when I'm on panel and then we're just sitting there listening to music, but I don't want to be that fucking go-go girl being watched by everybody because I'm dancing and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it feels weird. Anyways, so whatever. There you are. You were here. Michelle Lee, Canna Free. Hey, Mitch, I love you. Me loves you too. Mitchy me. 3:35. How's your day going, Michelle? I love watching you guys say hello and stuff. Hi, David Castle. Greetings and favor. How's everything going, David? Double David's in the house. Double D's. Right on. Casey, I'm so glad you're here. Realize. For real. It's cool. Shivers. Paradox. It's 7 here now, so I'm getting small swarm visits. Right on. Michelle, I will not consent to any separation, division, or fear tactics. We are one. Exactly. They are. There's an energy here that we have manifested together. I've been streaming for over, I don't even remember stuff anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's been over a year, year and a half. Yeah, it's gonna be 3 years I have my channel in January that I started my vids, and then it's gonna be 2 years in February since I just randomly started streaming. I loaded an app, I pressed play, and it worked. Like, I logged in, pressed play, and it worked, and I've been streaming on and not so much off, mostly on ever since. And this is all I do. This is basically my job, but it just doesn't seem very credible because I don't really sell myself so much because I'm not of that ilk. But this is what I do. I don't, you know what I mean? Bamboo doing pretty good. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we're doing good, me and Lily. Yeah, the kindness in here. Friends are legit. Feel blessed. Yes, me too. Exactly, Casey. We haven't lost our minds yet. Uh, yeah, it's funny. You're welcome for being, I call it being blue. I don't really call it a wrench. I call it being blue. And for most the first year I ever did live streams, first of all, I didn't know how to moderate somebody, and I don't want anybody timing people out and stuff. But what happened is I started sharing, putting moderators, giving the blue, that's what I call it, in order for you guys to be able to share your channels very easily. We're already so blocked in so many ways and censored, right? That the faster that people can find each other, the better that it is. So Casey, I still haven't found if you have a channel with content. So if you want to share right now, that would be awesome because you can be found, right? It's important. Like, I consider myself like a gathering place where we find each other, where you guys find each other. So the more you guys actually, you know, if you want to come in every day, put your channel in there and just go, that's fine, right? You're hanging in there, Michelle. Oh, right on. I get it, Casey. Realize. I'm going to start doing lives like I did over on my Casey channel, but I deleted that because of the cyberbullying. Yeah. And when you step into a different embodiment, and then with the tribe vibes of the people that you've gathered since you had that before, you're going to have a whole other level of lives, right? We are stronger together, and you know what I mean? Like, there is that thing of when people go into live streams and the reflection of the energy, the frequency that is in them is what, you know, makes a troll, I don't like using that term, but it makes a troll comfortable, right? That it's very hard to come into a stream like mine and want to come and push people's buttons, because anybody who takes 2 seconds to scroll up and down and look at the chat, it's all love, right? I would say half of the time my streams are super like emotional on some level as well, because we talk about, I say we, I'm the one that says it out loud, but in the comments there's some serious stuff going on, right? People come in here to purge what's going on in their reality, really truly telling what's going on in their personal life. So you know what I mean? Like, there's no energy for an energy vampire to suck off and go poke, so they can pass through and look, but it doesn't come in the same way, right? And I pity the fools who try, because I've been doing this long enough, and I'm not here to watch people be hurt, and I do no harm, and I take no shit. Depending on how hardcore anybody ever goes, everybody always gets 3 chances, 3 strikes and you're out, right? And then I go mama bear. You know what I mean? Then I go mama bear. Yeah, Michelle. Me too. 3:44 Eastern time. You said that, sweetie Michelle. It's the soul family that is what has kept me going. Same. having reflections of people with unconditional love and allowing me to be myself, that actually listen, hold space, and that we can exchange energy from afar is one of the strongest things that I've ever had in my life. No joke. Uh, at this point, there's, you know what I mean? Like my PayPal is in the description. I can put it down if I catch up with the chat. If anybody wants to link it, go ahead. But we're in the never, never, in the in-between of a matrix world into heaven on earth, but we never lived heaven on earth. And I'm one of those people that's not guided to do certain things any way of the old ways, but I don't have like 144% higher guidance of what to manifest and how for, you know, certain things. So, you know, me and Lily live off love, like literally, right? And we're way behind in a lot of things, and Christmas is coming up, and things are happening with the apartment that I haven't even talked about with anybody yet. I'm just not there yet. And one of the reasons that I was shaking and shivering so much is that it's like every day or day and a half, like when it's like, what the fuck am I gonna do? And like, how do I stop fucking worrying about it when like I'm getting calls? I owe money, right? I owe money. So, and then it's like today, boom, an amount came in through the mail that I had no clue, right? That way. I don't know if you're here back there that way, but I got your package today. I don't know how long it's been there. I haven't gone to the mail in a long time. But yeah, so thank you that way. Yeah. And that thing of I can't mimic what the things are that, you know, energy people or spiritual based people are doing. I'm not guided to, not only, but when I try, it doesn't work. So when I try to go make myself a Patreon page, so you know what I mean, when I try to do go check out Esty even to see how I would start that, I don't have access to it. I get blocked. Stuff happens, right? That's not my path. I'm not allowed to like start timelines. I'm in the surrender and faith that, you know, stuff's coming. Hi, Mother Goddess. Oh, I love that you put a panda. Hi, Kimba. Kimba M. How's everything going, Casey? Casey. I saw Casey's name at the bottom, so excuse me. Sorry about that. How's everything going today, Kimba? It was weird. I had the weirdest, like, I woke up at like, I don't even know because I didn't check right away, but when I checked the timestamp, it was 6:01. Probably woke up at 5:55 because at this point the 555 syncs are through the roof, like even to the point where when we went out earlier, there was a gentleman in front of us who's like, whoa, 5 is my number, I was born on the 5th of the 5th in 55. And I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like when everything everywhere is a sync when you go out and about, right? And yeah, I've been up ever since, which isn't common for me. It's not that I'm not an early bird person. I just got nothing to really do that I want to do in the morning. So I like to sleep, right? I sleep. It's where I sleep the best actually, is after it's light out. Paradox fossils. Thank you. Genevieve exudes healing energy. Yeah, and that's my purpose. That's what I am, and that's what I do, right? Just leak it out everywhere. Just leak it out. Casey, I appreciate that, but I'm not well accepted on YouTube because of people running their mouth about me and my friends. We're attacked harshly. I get it. And the past is the past, right? The past is the past. We all had our learning curves of what we had as lessons and what we had to make us like tougher and all that stuff. And, you know, we've we flipped into a new, a new timeline for real. And it's not just about, the fact that it's December. We're really in the, like, this is it. This is it. So it's all about embodiment. Kindness matters. It's not about what we did or how we were treated before. It's how we're going now, right? You're welcome. Thank you, Bamboo, for sharing it. Got it. Got it. Now I gotta catch up. I gotta go back. I gotta scroll back. Mother Goddess, soul family is strong and pure. It is, Mother Goddess. And it's about the ultimate, like, unconditional love, right? We're all from different kind of branches of tribe of what we believe and what our, what our things are. But we come together in the middle, and it doesn't matter what we believe and how we anchor it in ourself doesn't take away if we don't have the same exact, belief systems. You know what I mean? The non-judgment, the allowing for things to be spoken of and stuff. One of the funniest things was the other night, I forget if it was last night or 3 or 4, I forget which night, when somebody said something about pee in Matrix Man stream, and then I started talking about, like, urine therapy and stuff, like, just boom, right? Because I'm used to talking about all of everything, like, the blood over intent, everything, like, Soul Tribe is of every single, right? So I'm used to talking about pee, and I use it when I need it, and I do my stuff, right? I got my ways. I insulted a brother so bad 2 months after I started streaming. He got so mad at me that he's never come back. If you're listening, come back, right? But he's blood over intent, and he asked me to do stuff for him on screen, and I was like, no. And then he kind of asked again, and the way he did, and I was like, I don't do what you guys do. I do my things my way, and actually nobody's actually aware of really anything. It's me, myself, and I, what I do, right? And just he got, you know what I mean? He didn't like that I don't do it and that I don't share it. But it's like, it's beautiful that what you guys choose, keep doing, or have stopped doing. Me not knows. It's not my business, right? But it's like I wasn't proving to him that I was blood thick, and it's like, I don't need to validate that to you, especially visually. Like I said, like, you asking me that and me saying no, and to the point of, you don't know what I do, and my intimacy is my own. You asking me that is like just randomly going into a stream and asking somebody to go naked just for because you want to see make sure they got boobs, right? Like, nobody, no. Yeah. I don't believe that, Kimba. Kimba says bullying can only bother you if you're not aware of who you are or what you're capable of. I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of, and it still can bring me to my knees because strangers don't bully me, Kimba, right? So when strangers come in and if they want to say stuff, if you've never seen me handle, like, when somebody comes in, you know, watch and learn next time, if ever it happens again, because I don't manifest that very often. I only get bullied and told, like, verbally or written down by people who, a month ago, a week ago, before, that they loved me no matter what, and then I get told I'm going to destroy you, right? Things like that. Or just, like, you know what I mean? I've been threatened. I've had every fucking thing happen to me, but it doesn't come from strangers. It comes from people that, I let my guard down. I was vulnerable. I trusted. And then all of a sudden, when that timeline kicks in, it happens. So it does still hurt. You know what I mean? And here's the thing, Kimba, is like, what's the fucking point of being in this world if we can't get along? And if every time I go and I trust and it's always going to just like turn a certain way, then like what? It's me I don't trust after. It's my discernment, right? Like fuck, if I thought somebody was so cool that I started talking to them in my background and then all of a sudden like it's not cool anymore and I'm scared and I'm telling somebody like leave me alone, stop harassing me, I'm crying and I'm shaking right now and my daughter's watching, like that's messed up, right? To go from all like, wee, I have a new best friend to like telling somebody I am shaking and crying in my reality right now and my daughter's watching. Like you, what you're doing is not just to me, my child is aware of it because, you know, we're not separated. You know what I mean? Like, even if I was in another room and even if she can't see what's written, she still feels my fucking whole body go from like, wee, everything's fine. And then all of a sudden, like, I'm fucking shaking PTSD from being threatened, right? It's crazy. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, drop links, guys. Yeah, Mother Goddess, heaven on earth is within us all. It manifests when your frequency hits a certain level. Yes, 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 completely. And that's the, especially when, because I've hit the state of grace where, you know, all the stuff was going and the manifesting and feeling safe, unfuckable with, no matter what. So this year, you know what I mean, brought me to my knees of, I thought I was unfuckable in 2019. And you know what I mean? Now we're in 2021 and I can't keep that frequency high enough at all times. Or you know, enough to not be having like panic and stuff like that. I never thought I would have these feelings again. I thought I had conquered that, right? 2021 brought in things that I had never lived before. So you know, my body reacting in ways that I didn't even know that I could have that inside of me, right? But now that I've had it inside of me and all the time learning to like, you know, doesn't kill you, makes you stronger, and that's the truth, right? Yeah, Kimba, I do pity the fools. I pity the fools not because of necessarily how I handle people who treat me certain ways, but I pity them or have empathy and compassion because the one of the reasons that I'll stick to my kindness and give more chances is because I'm sent through my soul contracts to just leak love, right? And what people choose to do when, you know, an angel comes to them and just wants to be a friend, doesn't want anything in return, and is ready to accept all your fucking quirks just the way you are, right? But then to be, when people choose to project on me and choose those timelines when that timeline wasn't, you know what I mean? It could have been any timeline, but that's what people chose, right? Which is beautiful because the layers of it, when somebody projects onto me, ultimately they're healing themselves. And we chose that exchange no matter what, no matter how it feels on a human level, right? Yeah, Mother Goddess. I had to look at money completely differently to no longer be in any fear of not having any. Yeah, I got, yeah. Let's just say I got issues with that. Hey, Emoji King. How's everything going, Jack? Yeah, Kimba just realized Casey was here. Ah, that's awesome. You woke up at 5:55 a.m. today, Jack? Whoa. Right on. Kimba, I know we still need money for some things, but I have pulled away from it greatly. Actually, me and my son getting ready to sell most of our things this weekend. Yep. Cutting out all materialistic stuff. Yeah. See, I did that in 2019 where it was like me and Lily, even like Lily, I was shocked. She had no attachment to so much of her things. We only kept a certain amount of memories per se, so that like not to strip her of like not having anything from her childhood left at all, right? So some favorite things and but we got rid of everything in 2019. We've accumulated a lot since then. It's actually kind of disgusting to me sometimes what we have accumulated, in the sense that, you know what I mean? I had a lady not long ago offer me clothes, and I was like, I don't need them. Like, give them to somebody who needs them. Like, for my size, for me, like, I don't need them. I would need stuff for Lily big time, right? But Kimba, the financial bombardment can be a struggle. It's fucking hell, Kimba. It's, you know what I mean? It is. And it takes away it, you know what I mean? Not having a nest that you feel safe in, right? Already, but then being late in rent at that in that nest that you don't actually feel safe in, right? All of it is just, Mother Goddess, time is not linear. It's a spiral of infinite potential. Yep. And that feeling, that flavor of the magic has to always be, right? Right on, Kimba. I spent some time outside in my yard and I loved it, but now I'm done and back inside. It's raining. It was raining for us, and then some flurries as we were coming home earlier. And
it started really snowing when we were at the bank.
Yeah, and they're calling for minus 13 tonight, so it's gonna go like really, like it's only about like it's only hovering around zero right now. It's gonna go all the way to minus 13, like boom. Exactly, Mother Goddess. Yes, only you know what you are here to do. Exactly. Kimba, yeah, the synchronicities are becoming back to back to back, whether it's numbers, people's messages. Exactly. That's the way it has to be. And then, you know what I mean? The flow, it's all there. It's amazing. Kimba says that's what's making me wonder what if something is coming sooner than later. Uh the more of us that actually believe that something is coming, meaning, you know, the goodness, the waves, the whatever, right? The more of us that actually believe that something's coming sooner than later, that's what's amplifying the vibration for it to come in. I actually was listening to a certain transmission today, and in black and white, someone who was like super elevated even like wrote it down, like the I forget the way that it was said. Like, yes, we have to have patience, but it's like the way that I always say, we're angels in overtime. The collective always, like, we always have had the choice to step into timelines of love. We've always had that choice. That's always been there. But that the shit show, you know, that the majority, we're not at a tipping point to anchor in something like collectively at this point. Um, just shows how much resistance there is, right? There's so much resistance to self-love, and ultimately that's like the most, like, the biggest, like, thing, right? People would rather give their power away and, you know, do stuff to their body, wear a mask for almost 2 years in a row, than to actually just fucking take control of their own life and love themselves. It's crazy. Exactly, Kimba. Yes, the past is the past. That's why no matter what someone says to you, the past is like the past unless you are feeling guilty about something presently. Yeah. And what's going to be really important uh, is that we are the ones rewriting the scripts, right? Well, everybody is, but some of us are just more aware that we're actually doing it, right? Everybody here in this, like, everybody in the whole wide world right now, whole wide world right now, you know what I mean? Um, I forget what I was going to say exactly, but bottom line is we're the ones rewriting the scripts that, and we know we're doing it versus other people who don't know, right? Who don't understand that we're pulling in a new world, the real world that we want. Um, why do I keep explaining something to lose my train? Oh, because we're the ones rewriting the scripts. Be prepared. The people that you think that were and that were the most like right, they fucking got you to your knees. They're the one that make it that you stopped your channel. They're the ones, the narcissist, whatever the labels, the words. But those are the people that are going to come back into your reality sooner than later, and sometimes en masse, where you have like 5 people or like a group of people at the same time or within the same timelines, like back after back after back, and you got choices to make. How quickly can you flip into the reality that if if they are an embodiment of love, that you actually are going to look at them through new eyes and not how they acted or who they were like even yesterday, but how they are today. Because one of the things that holds us all back is if we are keeping like, oh, I'm never going to be friends with that person, right? But that's your actual like either soulmate or your future business partner or the person that pivots you into the fact that you actually forgave every single thing that happened and show other people how you can get along after, right? So think of a married couple who gets divorced and the divorce is really nasty. Have you ever known any married couples whose divorce was very nasty, but 1 year or 2 years later, or months, or 10 years, they're actually best friends again? Not best friends that share their bodies, that want to go back into a union that involves touch and intimacy, but friends that are actually more solid than, just typical, hey, bruh, you're my friend. Well, no, they've been through fucking hell and back together. They had kids. They got divorced. They said every ugly thing you can imagine to each other. They told everybody, you know what I mean? They think that there was wars in the family because of this. But after all that stuff is gone, then they're united, right? And that's what the is coming as well and it's for everybody always. Mother Goddess, the bully has always taught me lessons about myself, and it's tough sometimes. Yeah, they always do for sure. Mother Goddess, yes. Exactly, Paradox. Most bullies end up dead, in prison, or old and alone. Exactly. And I've consciously taken on certain timelines in the last few years, like purposefully. I chose that I was not going to take any more karmic contracts with masculine and have relationships. And so therefore, whatever I needed to learn through any type of relationship that I didn't take the offers, even if they could have been there, I have to learn on some other level. So it comes from a stranger that becomes a friend. We don't necessarily cultivate to have a true intimacy or anything, but the lessons are learned through them, if that makes any sense at all. I also believe that the brightest lights are hidden in the darkest places. So, you know what I mean? I do always believe that the potential of the crusty old motherfucker that nobody can stand is actually one of the purest angels inside. He just needs love and compassion in order to open that up inside, right? So, one of my biggest things is to give too much and too long and you know what I mean? So live and learn, right? Kimba, yes, mother. Actually, if you look at the other side of the spectrum, the bully can help make you stronger, can help you to learn to defend yourself better. We have to learn how to balance our good and our bad. Yeah. Mostly what the bullying lately, like my last things that have happened, have taught me is that first of all, I don't want to air my dirty laundry in public. You know what I mean? I don't want it known who, what, and that's nobody's business, right? And I don't want to, I understand that if I liked and if I love someone and trusted them even for 5 minutes, that they need their own space to grow no matter what. So, we all are dancing together at the end, just like in Grease, right? In the movie Grease, the original, there's so much stuff that happens in the movie. Some people don't even really like each other during the movie, but at the end, they're all so happy to be graduating. They're dancing together. And I know it's a musical and I know it's a movie, but it is the perfect analogy for humans. At the end, we're all dancing. At the end, we all are of love, and all the stories and all the things that we needed to perpetuate on each other is what helped us to grow. Yes, exactly, Kimba. We all have good and evil in us. It just matters which path you decide to take. Hence why people are trying to find their balance. Yeah. I do believe, Kimba, though, that there are specific people who were born who just never have had, they never, we don't know how to hate. We don't know how to hate. We weren't born with that part, the hatred. We can self-hate, we can hate our own self, but we can't blame others and hate them. So for myself, like, it doesn't matter what's ever happened in my life, it's my fault, right? No matter what, even if it's, you know what I mean? Like, even when I said no and it didn't work, it was my fault, right? It's my fault. So that thing of the gathering, the being close to other people to feel safe, right? Yeah, realize. Good point at Mother Goddess. Learn not to be like any hater. Love each other as he loves us. Yeah, Mother Goddess says, yeah, Kimba. After the hard lesson, I thank the bully and I move on. Hi, Little Wing 619. How are you two? How are you doing? Kimba says, LOL, that was funny. We're on to the urine part where I was talking about the other night, but I did hear urine has health benefits. I don't know how my gag reflex would work. You'd be surprised. Sometimes the smell is not how it tastes, kind of like feta cheese, right? Feta can smell really weird and just like, ugh, depending on your nose, but the flavor of it is like, oh my gosh, put extra feta on everything, right? So urine is about the same. You'd be shocked at how you know what I mean. There's ways to buffer that as well. It's a learning curve at some point. But here's the thing, if we actually realize to what point, like every medicine we've ever put inside us, what's actually in it, and we weren't programmed to believe that, aspirin, Tylenol, anything, that's manufactured by big pharma type of thing, our gag reflex would not allow for us to take those pills. If we hadn't been programmed since childhood, since birth, and since, intergenerationally. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, you know what I mean? Our gag reflex would act up and would protect our body if we weren't programmed to believe what we already believe as humans, right? And as humans, our breath is what keeps us here, right? But why wouldn't everything that comes from us have a benefit for us as well, right? And the urine therapy and all its benefits can't be denied. Like, I mean, there's so many places and so many different people that talk about it. So you can find somebody who's like kind of like me and talks about it like blah blah blah, but then you can find like people who, you know what I mean, like they speak of it eloquently. They have the facts, they have the data, they have the stats of, you know what I mean, they've done. I'm not a documenter, so you know, like if I had cut myself and I used my urine on top, I didn't take pictures to show you like 2 days later it was fine. You can't even tell the cut was there, for example. Those types of things. Like I'm not here to prove it. I just talk about it. You either believe it in or you don't. It'll guide you as well, right? But think about it. If we were not programmed to believe everything the Matrix told us is good for us is actually bad, and vice versa, right? So if you were very matrix based, like some of our parents or people in our family, to them marijuana is like it's illegal, it's bad, it'll kill you, it's destructive, it breaks up families. Like what pot does to people is crazy. They, you know what I mean, they wouldn't smoke it if you told them it'll fucking cure their cancer. But it's the same thing for urine. You know what I mean? Thank you, Emoji King. Emoji King. Genevieve, your understanding and compassion runs very, very deep. Yeah. Paradox fossils. I've seen more different types of birds and animals and insects in my backyard and park behind us than anywhere else I've ever been in Missouri or in 12 other states. That's amazing for sure. That's cool. I have a tone, ear tone that's different right now. I think that they're coming to you, right? Build it and they will come. They come to you instead of you having to go out and about to find them. That's how Temagami felt for me, Paradox. Where the way that I lived in Temagami, we were, they call it the town site because it's not, there's no stores, and it's like a couple of kilometers away from, there's two different, like Temagami, there's Temagami and Temagami North. Back when the town was very booming and mining, they had wanted to separate and put the housing farther away because it was a booming town with bars and a lot of stuff going on. So they were like, oh, let's build a town site, right? They didn't foresee in the future that fucking half of the stuff was going to be closed down and it wasn't going to be the same way. But anyway, so, but, and then where I lived, I was just, the highway was here, the pipeline was here, the highway was here, the train tracks were here, and then there was just enough bush and a hill, and then our little trailer. But the sightings, the tracks, the animals that would come like right to the door, right? The bears, the lynx, everything, every single thing. It was awesome. The only thing I never saw in my own yard, and I had to go to the lake for it, was a beaver, which is good because, buddy, you know, we're not so far from the lake, but I'd rather go see you than you come see me. Yeah, we'd walk.
Remember when that bear ate my chapstick?
Yeah. We'd go for snowshoes sometime in the winter, and I could tell like where the bear dens were, because just the feeling of my land and the knowing of everything, the feeling of them, like, you know what I mean? I could tell where the dens were. Mother Goddess, nature reveals itself to us in magical moments. The timing is always correlated with a deeper meaning. Yes. I believe in divine timing. Just like I believe in synchronicity, I believe in serendipity and the divine timing of things. I really do. I think there's a lot of us who do, you know what I mean? That thing of just knowing, the inner knowing of stick to the guns, right? Paradox, it's abnormally warm in Missouri right now. I'm not sure your question, Kimba, where you said, do you mean your surrounding family, Genevieve? I'm not sure what that's pertaining to because I'm like
Yapping.
10 minutes late in the chat, and whatever I was saying, like when you wrote that, I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah, realize Groundhog Days. Please end. I know, eh? That's exactly. And how in Groundhog Day, Bill Murray, every day he had to do something different, right? And his attitude, who he was by the end, and why, you know what I mean? He finally flipped into the version is because he had learned everything he needed to learn about his compassion, his empathy, opening his heart, stopping to be a fucking dick, right? Oh, Kimba says strangers bullying me don't bother me, but my family bullying me does. So that's why I ask. Uh, I love light shining. A lot of endings and new beginnings with the approaching new moon and eclipse. Yes. A lot of radical endings, a lot of transitions, lots of transitioning. You know what I mean? Like a lot. Um, so bless those souls of their free will choosing to exit right now, and those who, you know what I mean, are. And it's like that thing. You know, when it rains, it pours. Uh, you know, some people are having like every week, right? Moji King, every week, every couple weeks, every month, there's like, you know, people passing through that it's just like, there's a lot, a lot. Yeah, Kimba, you do feel me. Love you, Kimba. Realize, don't realize. Many people don't know that we are the very light of the moon, and it's even in scripture, and also the valley of the shadow of death is in between the earth and the moon. You say Satan wants to be a light, but he can't comprehend it. He wants our light. See, my views on Lucifer are not the same, and kind of, you know, he's just the one that gets the bad rap, right? He's the one that gets the bad rap. People make choices, and then. So. Ah, bamboo passing peanut butter breath. Yes, please. Yes, Mother Goddess, we are light, finding our balance of light and dark. Yeah, Kimba, things are amping up a lot. A lot. There's some things that I'm aware of, like through just different things that just depending on where I just don't feel it's like my place to talk about it. So, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, there's things that just it's amped up a lot. Safety, right? For all of us. Yeah, Emoji King doesn't have vids. Emoji King's an elevator. He's been throughout the tribe vibe for many years and one of the elevators. It's important. Yeah, love light. Well said, Genevieve. They grew as sovereign souls. Yeah. You right. I love light. Narcissistic people end up alone, unfortunately, but I don't believe that that can sustain itself anymore, right? Because for me, no matter, like, a narcissist is a label of somebody who's so extreme that, you know, they got another label, right? But ultimately, a narcissist is a wounded child. And you know what I mean? To believe that a narcissist will never be better is what's actually, you know what I mean? That's not helping us as, that's not helping humanity because they need the love and compassion even more. You know what I mean? On some level. Thank you, exactly, Mother Goddess. The dark is not the enemy because out of the darkness is born the light. Exactly. And here's this thing from creator source perspective, there's no such thing. Their universe creator, source, there's no such thing as good or bad. The only reason bad things happen in the world is because we choose to bring that in. So meaning our thoughts, where we focus our energy is what's making the, everything happen at all times. So when we think that there's narcissists everywhere, there cannot not be any narcissists because we believe they are there. So it's a whole, like, you know what I mean? The whole thing. And the narcissist, again, it's a label, is the person who cracked your heart open so big that you had no choice to embody something different. So ultimately, the narcissist in the book of your life is actually a more important player than your husband and your children on some level. Or it's your husband that's the narcissist, or in your children as well. As children, everybody wants to glorify that children are perfect and awesome and it's so easy and amazing. But one of the hardest parts of, being a parent is in the teenager years. Why? Because children revert to being little fucking assholes that are actually exhibiting truly narcissistic behavior. So no one has actually gotten away from being a narcissist, because when we were young, we thought we knew everything. We didn't listen to our parents. We lied to them. We stole from them. We did all this stuff. And you know what I mean? And then we wonder, like 20 years later, I've never done anything bad in my whole life. Like, why is stuff happening to me? Well, fuck. For 2 years you lied to your mom solid. You know what I mean? All of that. It's you know what I mean? It's all a part of us. We've all been there, done that, and bought the fucking t-shirt of doing stuff or thinking stuff that's so horrible. If your thoughts are bad, even if you've never hurt anybody in your life, even if you've never slapped anybody, even if you've never yelled at anybody, if your thoughts inside of you are yucky, that's, you know what I mean? That's it. If you're thinking in your head all the time, I want to kill those fuckers. If I could, I would do this. I would do this. I want to fuck that woman. I'm going to blah, 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 blah. Like, that's your thoughts. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you never rape anybody. If all the time you're constantly in your head thinking about women, specific women and their bodies, and imagining it, it's still happening on some level because thoughts are things. Right? Yeah, Kimba says, I want to get rid of more of my stuff, but my son has kept reminding me, Mom, you want to keep some of your nice things. Yeah. And I know we've talked about this before, Kimba. You will know when you know, and the best way is to a little bit at a time. So if in 2 months you're like, okay, this is a nice thing, but I got zero attachment to it. I don't care if I still have it. I want to sell it. You'll get the feeling, right? Because allowing for the stuff that, it doesn't matter if it's taking up energy and space. So if you don't love it, cherish it, and honor it, somebody else will, if it's a beautiful thing, and something else beautiful is going to come into your life, right? It's amazing. Exactly, love light. 313, you called it, Michelle? Nice. Divine Feminine Rising. Love light. Bullies are always carrying deep pain inside. Hurt people hurt people. Exactly. And you can ask, if you're even right now thinking all this stuff, and just ask inside of yourself. When I meditate, when you go into a meditation, ask, okay, this person that did this to me, to see into their, you know what I mean? Into their past timelines. What is it? And you'll dream about it. It will come to you. So, you know what I mean? Like for myself, I had an incident that lasted a few minutes in my life with someone, and it was really hard.
Can I have the rest of the potatoes?
Yeah. But I also had the flash vision of the years of abuse, physical, mental, sexual, that this person endured to become the person who did that in my reality later. So, you know what I mean? The grasping of people with healthy, imprinted sexuality do not sexually abuse other people. only if you have the negative imprinting and it's been done to you do you perpetuate that, right? All of that. So yeah, Bamboo, I love that song. We can dance if we want to. If we don't, nobody will. I don't understand. Remember the words. I tried. Yeah, Kimba. Yes, mother. Hence yin yang. You have to learn to understand your demons so you can control them. They don't eat you alive. Exactly. Yes, Mother Goddess. Life is eternal. There is no beginning and no end. Yeah. Yeah, Kimba. That's why I can relate to you so much, Genevieve, because you have the same situation as me. Yeah, it reflects itself so much that I'll say it to you sometime when we're I don't want to say it out loud here right now. And it's nothing bad or anything, just yeah. Yes, love, light shining, me too. Our fault is always seeing the good in everyone. Same. I see souls, so I see and I feel the highest version of someone, and then they show me wherever they're at in between. So a soul, the version, the true soul, is the person in the avatar, in the body, right? So people of their own free will choose how they act here as they embody different levels to get to their highest self, right? Some of the most beautifully packaged people like ever who are so spiritually like whoa guru-y and stuff, like I see their soul and I wouldn't go into their stuff if you fucking paid me $1 million. I would not, right? And I need the money, right? I wouldn't. I won't. I don't. Because I see the soul. And it's the whole soul. It's the higher self of the person actually like saying, like, Genevieve, you don't belong here, right? This isn't your timeline. Get out of Dodge, right? Kimba, I only have an 18-year-old boy. Now he's sticking up to my parents while his mom can relax. They were giving me too many panic attacks. Yeah, baby girl. I'm trying to get our generator up and moved and a cover built in case for the winter. Good. Yeah, just in case for sure. If you got it, it has to be functional. If you didn't have it, you weren't meant to have it. That's one other thing. But if you already have it, make sure it's functional for sure. Oh, nice. Kimba said, I was listening to all those songs in my yard today, Bam. It was so much nicer than my old music, and it put me in a better mood. Whoa, thanks for mentioning that, Kimba. When we step into different embodiments, music doesn't always necessarily follow the same way. You can listen to it once in a while, but it doesn't do the thing it did before. Like, you know what I mean? So yes. I shared Tragically Hip with Wally the other day. I was like, oh, Genevieve, don't give me more music to listen to, kind of. And I was like, what? I love new music. I need the new stuff, right? Like, he was only joking, but I love finding the new stuff, or the stuff that I forgot that I knew, or, you know, like the, just the stuff. I've cried a few times with the songs that, you know, that are on Matrix Mail's live streams that in the evening, because to hear the words that we speak like resonate and I forget if Alex was here, he'd probably remember. I don't know if you were there, Bamboo, or if Matt would remember, because I see you're there, Matt. I just haven't gotten to you officially, but hey, dude, how was your day? It blew me to my knees the way that the masculine was singing about the feminine. Like, it was so in tandem, like a fifth dimensional beyond perspective of masculine and feminine. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't the MK programming. It was so freaking pure. You know what I mean? And I have it in my playlist. I forget where it is. I don't even remember what the song is. I told myself I would go back and put that song on repeat, and my life just to have that imprint, right? That's how I want to be spoken, not the other ways that I've heard since, since a kid. Thank you, Mother Goddess. Many hearts to you, Genevieve, for holding space here in these chats. Thank you for saying that. Belongs to you. Emoji King, yeah, no hate here. Too analytical, I guess. I don't know what that feels like. Yeah. Kimba, sometimes I forget to look at the other end of the spectrum, but because I prepare myself for good and the bad, it's the good and the bad, I like to be aware of both. If that's a good way to say it, not really sure. I think so. I get the gist of what you're saying. Yep. Yeah, one of my hardest things is sometimes I'm so good when people like come in the streams or talk and of flipping things around right away, right? Like, let's flip this, let's flip this. Okay, yes, you're right. Like, this is how it feels and this is what it is. But if we go higher, layers, 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 and look at it differently, we feel differently about it. But I have trouble doing it for my own self sometimes, right? I've been trapped in certain thought patterns for months now. Yeah. Mother Goddess says yes, Kimba. It gives us a reference point. Kimba says, thanks, Genevieve and everybody. I need to come in from outside and calm down and relax, and you have helped me with that. Still listening, but feel better. Yeah, me too, Kimba. I lose my train of thought all the time. Kimba says, we need a big van to drive around and pick up all the narcissists. Damn, I don't even have a van for my own self. They can figure their own shit out. Right? Boundaries, baby, boundaries. Emoji King, pissing on the feet can prevent frostbite, and the antigens in the urine prevent French trench foot. I learned that in the mountains of Norway in the winter. Yeah. Kimba says, nice to know, Emoji King. I'll have to take note. Yeah, if it starts to snow in Florida, pee on your feet, Kimba. Pee on your feet. Oh, if the walls could talk, Emoji King for sure. Hey, Jansu. Says Kim, I told my psychiatrist today that I don't want to take any more of the new pills. I believe that I'm fine as I am, so no more pills are needed. Right on, sweetie. Emoji King says, I hear Emoji Queen footsteps coming up the stairs. This sounds slower than usual. I'll be right back. Okay. 4:29 you came in, Matt? Oh my god, it's 4:40, of course. Man, I go off sometimes, eh? Oh well. Mother Goddess, exactly, Genevieve. Good and bad are our own creations. We are responsible for everything in our life. Yep. Mother Goddess, we were convinced that we couldn't change our reality, but we can. Yes. Yes. That's why I keep mentioning to, I think I've implanted it into almost every stream this week. Heath Ledger, First Night. Not First Night, A Knight's Tale. Right? We can change our stars. We can change our stars. Exactly, Mother Goddess. I was invited to go to court and I said no thanks. I don't let anyone tell me how my life will play out. Same. When my ex-husband and I got separated, we went to a mediator just to have a human in front of us to speak, so instead of we'd be cutting each other off, and to know the laws, to do things a certain way. And the mediator, done gone, thought that he was going to tell us what to do, and I was like, no, buddy, you don't get to tell us what to do. We just want to know we just want somebody in between that has like knowing, and we don't want drama, and we just want the knowings. So when he was saying all that I was entitled to and all the blah blah blah, because I had just bought my business, and you know what I mean, like it was a big deal, and we had really nothing, just all debt, a house, garage, cars, all that shit. But when he said I get a certain amount of half of blah 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 and la 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 of his pension, It was like, I'm not touching that. He's like, well, you have no choice. Everything's in your favor. You're a woman. You're the mom. You have to take it. And I was like, no, I don't. And yes, you do. No, I don't have to take it. Oh, yes, you do. No, I don't. I said, even if I took it, I would give it back. Like, it's none of your fucking business. What his fucking, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, when I got divorced for real, 3 years after we were separated is when we legally got divorced, went to court because it was paid for. And my lawyer at the time told me, he's like, you still have rights to half the house. And I was like, no, I don't. I signed that away and, made sure 4 years ago, whatever, that it was his, that there was nothing, you know what I mean? So I signed it away years ago. He's like, it doesn't matter. With your income, with the fact you don't have the restaurant, with the fact of this, with the fact of that, you have the right to half the house now. And I was like, okay. And he's like, so we're going to have to start court procedures. Like, and I was like, no. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, you're poor, you just shut your restaurant, you're going to go bankrupt eventually. Like, you haven't done it yet, but you're bankrupt, basically. And I was like, yeah, I am. And I didn't take anything that was whatever, right? He was so mad at me that he didn't even shake my hand after the divorce stuff was done, because he was so angry at me. And he said, you're going to have trouble the rest of your life because you're not protecting yourself financially. And I said, okay, I will. But he won't. And he looked at me, he's like, what do you mean? I said, I might have problems the rest of my life with money, but he won't. And there will always be a house for the kids to go to no matter what, because I didn't take half. And he will always have that place. You know what I mean? He will always have his garage. He will always have the land. And I won't. I'll figure my stuff out. If I take half right now, he's fucked. He's fucked, and he becomes like me, where he's not secure. It's like, if there's 1 out of 2 of us that's secure for good, it's him. That's it. That's all, right? They wanted to tell us what to do, Mother Goddess, and it was all in my favor. All of it. But he wouldn't have lived or had the life he had or the stability that he had if I would have done the other stuff, right? So... Aw, Casey, I think I think that you will, sweetie. Loves you. Never gonna heal, and I've accepted I'll die of a broken heart. I love my families wholeheartedly and still do. Even if they keep attacking, I'll still love. Loves you, sweetie. I don't think that. And I think that the families that we're born into are not our true families. Our blood is not thicker than water. Water retains memory. We're all made of water, and we're finding each other in order to be the families and to show what true, authentic, unconditional love is. Nobody was born into this world that actually got it, and we're the ones that are making it happen for each other and beyond now. Loves you, Casey. I don't think your heart is broken, because you wouldn't be able to talk to me. You wouldn't have been able to be in the stream with me if you weren't at a certain frequency, and if you weren't ready for real, true, love of women. Because ultimately this YouTube experience is the way that we planned forever and a day to be able to find each other and to start to build solid foundations of what love and trust actually is. And the foundations of women, empowering women, is one of the most pivotal things that we do during our journey here on YouTube. Right? So as much as women, we've been abused by men and stuff, but it's the fact that we weren't cared for and cherished by our mothers and other women that got us to where we're at as a collective. When women gather together, we move mountains, and that's a fact, right? So when women and masculine gather together, imagine what we move, right? Yes, Bamboo, realize, time, believe it will heal in the end. There will be peace. Yes. Mother Goddess says saying you're never going to heal means you will never heal. Reverse your thinking to change the course. But Mother Goddess, never say never, because for me, as soon as I say never and I really mean it, you can be sure that's going to happen. So never is like a word that actually sometimes pivots that's exactly what's going to happen. Or the opposite, right? Does that make sense? I don't know. But when we say never, sometimes, like, I have so many examples of saying never that happened that, like, I mean, we could do a live stream and talk about it for a long time, but I didn't even know my husband was my husband until I realized he was my husband, because otherwise he was just a friend. And he was the one of all of the friends that was like, I would never go with him, right? I would never be with Anouk. And he was beautiful. It wasn't because of that. He just was not my type, right? He didn't know nothing about music. Whatever. Everything that he was the opposite of me. Never. We could never be together. We're awesome friends. And yeah, you know what I mean? So the one person in the whole gang of dudes that we hang out with, and people would joke around and say stuff, or we'd play pool and we'd have a great energy playing pool. So people would be like, oh, you guys should get together. And we'd be like, no, what? You know what I mean? Until then, boom, the one day where it's like, yeah, it is him. You know what I mean? Like, me did not knows until me knew. Me did not knows until me knew. Me had said never. Right? Emoji King states, Emoji Queen is okay. She's good. She's tired and her hands were full with awkward packages. Right on. Way to go. The Matrix Man says I'm getting the after work joints in. I went to the mail earlier. That's nothing there. That package wasn't there, but that way had sent us, he sent us a package. I've got some, like, I don't even know what these are, and it's too dark right now. I'm not even sure. I've got 3 different crystals. I've got this. He's not quite sure. Me is not the most retainable stuff, so if anybody sees what this is, let me know, because I don't know. And yeah, he sent us American money. Oh my god, guys, I opened the box and there was like the money, and I looked at the money and I says to Lily, is this real money? You guys in America or other countries call Canada like monopoly money because we have colors, but American money's like funny looking to me, and it feels like, right? Oh my gosh. So I had to we went to the bank too. So it's been a weird day of like, just like unexpected. And then, just, yeah. David Barry, I've forgiven my bullies and I've thanked them for making me stronger, even the ones who threw me in the bonfire when I was 5, and the ones that kept me captive for hours beating me. Thanks for sharing that, David. And yeah, exactly. The forgiveness goes like with, yeah. Mr. Hugh, I'm enjoying this today, Jen. Right on. Thanks for saying so. Thank you. David Barry, you've actually thanked people in person. You should have seen their faces when I thanked them. Yeah. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. Here's a quick story about my restaurant. So my restaurant, long story short, what was the kicker for me to choose, like, I'm fucking done, like, now I'm done, is that I was going to be audited. I had been, you know, chosen randomly twice to be like just verified, but now it was going to go full in of like whatever. And, like, it was such bullshit. But the man who came to talk to me, a year later, I was working somewhere and I was feeding him again, but he was sleeping at that place and his meals were included. And when he saw I was the one in charge of the food, as above, so below, like, I'm the head chef, I'm the only chef, and this is my kitchen, he was so scared. Meanwhile, I didn't know he was scared. I was like, hey, how are you? And, you know, whatever. And after he ate the first time, he came and saw me. And he was looking at me and he was shaking and he was like, I was so scared when I saw you. And I was like, why? And he's like, it's my fault. You closed your restaurant. It's like, I'm not even from here. And I knew, like, you know what I mean? Like, I made the call to you and you closed the restaurant the next day. I was like, yeah, I did. I was like, you called me and I shut my restaurant the next day. And he's like, I'm scared you're going to poison me. And I started laughing. I was like, what? He was so scared. He was scared of me that I was going to hurt him with food. He thought that I hated him or that I blamed him or that it was his fault. And I was like, no. I was like, you were doing your job. I was at the end of my rope. And knowing that I was going to have to deal with stuff that I'm done. I'm just done. And like the look in his eye, and I was like, your job is like one of the hardest things ever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you work for the government auditing people. You must not have a lot of friends, buddy. Like, seriously. And oh my God, like, you should have seen him, eh? Like I said, you must not have a lot of friends. Right? And, but he was scared that I was gonna, and it was like, no, you know, I was like, I thank you because if you hadn't called that day, I probably would have physically popped. Like my heart or something would have happened, an accident, something. Because I'd been having warnings of certain things and my body didn't feel the same way. I wasn't enjoying it and it was done. And I said, you made it that instead of me dragging it out, making myself physically sick or having anything else happen, I just done. But he couldn't, you know what I mean? He was shocked, and like he said, nobody's ever reacted like that. And that's the thing, is that he used to death threats and so many different things that, you know. Yeah, Emoji King, David Barry. Wow, that's powerful. Yes, it is. Yeah, Bam. Some songs can make you cry. So powerful. Yes, Mother Goddess. Your words are energy when spoken. They are vibrating. Use your words to create. Yeah. Jan says, emoji, I found the most amazing song today. I'll have to tell you what it is later. Gonna practice it for karaoke night on Matt's stream. Right on. Thanks for sharing, guys. I know, realize. I feel like a firecracker about to pop over this hole, invisible. I can't read it that way because it all happened for a reason and it's happening this way for a reason, but you know what I mean? Like me and Lily have had our whole reality stripped from us. And you know, I keep telling people we have no timelines, but it's like people don't grasp we have no timelines, right? There's I did this stuff of not putting Lily in school, but we have no reflections of anybody. Like we had it all taken away. And yeah, you're right. People are afraid to play together now. We didn't make any friends this summer. None. None. Right? Childless summer, man. Hey, Joe, awesome one. Thanks for being here. I need to move. I know I'm late in the chat, but oh well. I need to circulate and get my coffee. You okay, girl?
Hmm?
You okay? chicken balls. Stop talking to me about chicken balls. Emoji Kit says, hey Jen, I'm a sub now. Right on. I didn't know you weren't subbed, Emoji King. I thought you just didn't step in, or I talk about Matrix Man streams all the time, every day, so I didn't realize you weren't subbed. I don't tend to share though, right? When I go back into stuff and look for stuff, then it throws me right off my rocker of my vibe, right? To go look for something. That's one of the reasons that everybody's blue, right? Y'all can share each other. I mean, I have to do it. You can only do so much, eh? You get it, eh, David Barry? Yeah. Says Genevieve, that's why I left most of my stuff with my ex, including half the house, so the children will have the roof and continuity, and left with next to nothing when my wife left me. Yeah. I got shivers everywhere, David, because there's not many people, you know what I mean? Like, there's not many people that are a reflection of that, right? It's all about, like, I gotta survive. It's all about myself. Like, she left me. I gotta, like, blah, 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 blah. But, the greater good for the children and just sustaining, right? And the more, you know what I mean? Like, one of the things that's made me who I am is the fact that I've had nothing, gotten it back, and then had nothing again, kind of thing, right? Possessions, nothing, you know what I mean? Like, being stripped of certain things is not going to destroy me at all. We get back on track. But not everybody's like that, right? Not everybody's like that. And especially, like, you know what I mean? Like, for my ex, for him to have not been able to have, like, what he had, he wouldn't have survived it. And he needed to be structured in what he had so my son could grow into the man that he is today, right? So the property that we had together when we bought it, you know what I mean, we only bought the house because of the land and the garage. Like, it was a double door garage that could fit like 2 full transports with the trailers, with the welder, all the equipment already in the garage. The only thing, well, there was the stuff that we had to buy. We went and bought a lift about, I don't know, not very long. I can't remember if I was pregnant or it was after I had Sam. Anyways, you know what I mean? Like, we went and bought a lift to make it even more, right? So my son became an industrial mechanic. My son can work on stock cars and any car that doesn't have the computer stuff, unless he goes, you know, somewhere and borrows a computer stuff from a friend, because he's, you know, high level now where he knows everybody knows him. But he wouldn't have become the industrial mechanic that he is now if he had not had access to the garage and all those tools. He's also an avid hunter and fisherman and stuff, and I never had access to really repad my life of all of that, but he always was able to do that stuff through his dad, always, right? My daughter as well, so it's important. Yeah, Moji, this is where I come from, a spiritual moral strength. Yep. Isn't it comfy too? Like, it's less is more, eh, David? Is the way I feel about it. So now I'm in a 1-bedroom flat with my laptop and my bike. When you say bike, like, you mean a pedal bike or a motorbike? I know a lot of masculines that when they're not with a feminine, because they're allowed, and I would be the kind, like, bring the bike in, baby, right, if we had one, but keep the bike in the kitchen kind of thing, or in the living room, the Harley and stuff. One of the dads, when my other kids were in school, a couple separated, and the first thing he did when she left the house, he went and bought himself a pool table, and he put it right, you know, right where he wanted. He didn't plan where it was going to be. He put it where he wanted it, right? And I was like, oh man, you're so lucky. Like, I keep asking, can we just have a pool table instead of a kitchen table, right? We don't need a fucking kitchen table. We need a pool table. And I know. I love you, Emoji King. Thanks for sharing. Emoji King says, LOL, Emoji Queen lost everything in her divorce, including her house and her child, because she was the sole provider. Gino pays alimony, but I'm not complaining. We're happy. Exactly. Yeah. Realize shit. I just need a hug. Real love hug. Blessings to the whole earth. Dude, I ain't had a contact hug with anyone in so many fucking years that like is intense and I say years. I have sporadic little ones, but I have no idea what touch is anymore. I do with my child, you know what I mean? But it's a whole other level. Not Gino. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. I actually said the Gino because I couldn't. Gino Camaro is a French thing. Gino Camaro. It's a saying. Hi, Fang Mistas. Welcome, welcome. Yes, Michelle. Unconditional love. Loves you guys. It's clear quartz. Thanks, Jansu. That's what came up inside of me, but I was like, maybe it's a diamond, and I have no clue. Like, I don't know. Be joking. Hey, the flat fellow. How's it going, eh? I'm behind in the chat. I was wondering this morning if you guys talked about it yesterday or whenever. What's the subject that you're bringing in tomorrow night, Tommy? Can I call you that, flat fellow? I was wondering. I'm like, I know he's coming in on Friday, but if you guys said like what specifically, like last time you came in with Matt and Matrix Man's live stream was about Atlantis, and then if you guys said what it was the next, like on this Friday tomorrow, I didn't grasp what the subject was going to be. I remember hearing Matt say last night that go on and maybe do numbers and stuff at the after, but I can't remember anything else. Fang, women do like to use poison to kill. Traditionally in history, rather. Yeah. No kidding, eh? I think I probably did that in enough other lives that I don't need to do it in this one, right? I don't need to kill anybody in this life. Oh, man. Thanks for being here, Fang. I know you're probably already gone by the time I got to you, but thanks for being here. David Castle, no way. Oh my gosh, dude, that's so cool. David Castle tells David Barry, double D's, I got my next tattoo scheduled. LOL, fun, fun, fun. Dude, that is such a sync because the way that I drove home earlier, which was kind of weird, but just whatever. Let's not talk about this. Let's not get Lily started on my driving earlier, but she's not listening. I drove by and I saw the name of my tattoo artist. I never really look at the sign, but we were at the it was a light. Usually I just drive by, and I looked and I saw her name and I was like, oh man, like and I looked up and I was like, I know that there's like a shitload of stuff first, but could the tattoo come soon too? My dragony dude. He knows what my next tattoo is. I have not had it drawn or drawn it myself yet, but it's going to be a cross between a Viking ship and a dragon head. That's all I'm going to say about that. David Barry. Oh, God, I hope so, says Genevieve. There's a portal opening in your wall. I've tried every portal that I can. I've tried. I have. I'm that person that, you know what I mean? Like, I just think I'm going to drive and be in another country all of a sudden. but it hasn't happened yet. Mhm. Yeah, it's a portal indeed for sure, Joe. David, yeah, I've been up and down my whole life. I've eaten out of a bin and I've eaten in the finest restaurants. Right on. Well, right on. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. And that, what the perspective of that is it's so different, right? I remember I said to somebody once, I can't wait until I can always have a $50 bill and $100 bill in my purse. And that when I look at the grocery store and I can see someone standing there and it looks like they're doing nothing, but what they're actually doing is they're like mentally counting every fucking thing they got in their cart to make sure that when they get to the line that they don't have to take anything out. I've been doing this on and off in my life right now, like for a while, right? When you only have $50 and you're wanting to make sure you don't want to get 50.05 by accident. So you calculate as you go in the grocery store, but then you do the roundup. And I can see that look. Like I know that look like the back of my hand. So I told somebody once, I was like, I can't wait until the day that I can always have that. And then as soon as I feel that feeling, just go up to somebody and say, here, pass it forward someday when you can. And just, that's it. Not even give a choice to take it or not even make a fuss of anything. Just give it. And I got looked at like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, well, I guess you have to be there. You had to have been there to understand, right? But not everybody can walk to the grocery store all the time and just grab whatever the fuck they want without ever thinking of anything, or, you know what I mean? All of that. So that's, you know what I mean? Like that's one of my things of, it's never happened to me that somebody did that for me, but it's something that I want to be able to do in my reality, right? Emoji King says, that flat fellow was just unsuccessful subscribing to your channel, and that left me with a flat feeling. Shit, I'm flat already, and I have been since 1976 after my first Kundalini experience. I subbed to everybody. Oh, that's the best. I don't know how many videos he's put out since. I forget the name of the vid. Hang on, I've got it right here. I actually made a playlist for Flat Fellow the other day, and this vid was so awesome. Go. Of course. I don't know how I do that. I make playlists, but then all of a sudden it's like there's somebody else in the playlist that doesn't belong. But oh well. Here, this is one of Flat Fellow's vids. It was awesome. I absolutely loved it. It reminded me so much of me, that video, because that was me in school, right? And we was not singing, but that was me looking up at the teacher and saying certain things, and then like, Miss Barrett, go to the detention. Right? Get out of this class. I don't want to hear you talking anymore, Michelle. Right? David Castle says, yeah, David Barry, yep. I've wined and dined kings and queens, and I slept in alleys eating pork and beans. I love all my experiences. Some of my worst decisions were my best experiences. Double D's. Thanks, guys. It's important. Nobody would ever guess, eh? And just, we've been through it all. And that's the like when we wonder sometimes, how do we all find each other as soul sparks, right? It's these things that we've lived that make us who we are, that make it that we can find each other as beacons. Right on. That's what I was visualizing. Right on, David Barry. It's an electric bike. She does 45 miles an hour. Okay, we're in kilometers here. That's fast. Can't imagine. Well, actually, I've probably gone 45 miles an hour going down a mountain. But you know, it can take like all day to go bike up a mountain, but it only takes about 10-15 minutes to bike down. Me knows, me been there, done that. Crow just flew overhead, Michelle. Right on. Joe. Sending positive vibes to you all, always. Emoji King says, Michelle, I had a huge bluebird or blue jay spook me yesterday. I had a big ass chunky pigeon just staring at me through the window yesterday. I sent Kelly Ryan O'Brien the picture. She said stout. I said chunky. Emoji King, my 1964 Sporty 900, my bar hopper chopper, is survived the house fire that burned my house to the ground. Whoa. Emoji King, that is such a sync. When I went to the mail, it's crazy the syncs today and how they flowed and the timing, right? When you just know it's time to go. And I left and then I went back inside when I went to the post office. If I had not gone back inside the second time, I would not have seen the person that I saw. The person who took over my house that I was renting on a family fishing resort type of place. Resort makes it sound so fancy, but it's like a camp, basically. But they had there was half tenants and half tourists. And I had a 3-level house, and the top of the house burnt last Thursday at 4 o'clock. The fan in the bathroom had a recall since 1990, but nobody knew until after it caught fire and fucking destroyed the house. And so everybody got out. They're okay. They're completely safe. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was burned, and nobody has smoke inhalation. But the whole house is a write-off. And I says to Jimmy, I was like, "What the fuck? Like, when is this? Has to be like, that's it. Like, your last thing. Now that you're gonna bounce into another reality." And he's like, because he lost his father, his mother has had super health issues. He had a heart attack. He's like fucking 15 years younger than me and had a heart attack, right? And just so much stuff has happened in the last 2 years. And he looks at me, and although he loved where he loves where he's living, he looks at me. He's like, ever since we moved into that house, it's been one thing after another. And I bit my tongue, but I was like, that's why I left, is because everything was saying, get the fuck out of here, no matter what, get out of here. Stuff was happening on the grounds, and just like the just stuff. It was just weird, but. Yeah. Oh, no way. That's so cool, David Barry. I have a tattoo shop literally in my backyard. I can't wait till I can afford another one. No kidding. That's awesome. Yeah, Mochi says, I just went a whole year, 8 months without a paycheck because of the corona. It's complicated. Joe Awesome One says, David, get an awesome van and become a mobile tattooist. I'll drive, eh, David? I'll drive while you tattoo people. We'll see how that goes. Whee! Dirt roads. Couldn't help myself. And David writes, now that's a plan. Just make sure to park before doing the tat. No way. It's like a whole new experience, right? You want to experience like a thrill? You got to trust us. We're going to do you straight lines as we drive down a dirt road. Genevieve's going to drive and I'm going to tattoo you. Oh, that'd be hilarious. Hi, Michael Joshua Lewis. Happy Thursday. Oh, it's Friday for you. Happy Fria's Day. Thanks, Michelle. You sent me the crows. Thank you. Yeah. They're still present, but they're not as prevalent as they usually are, which can be hard on me because we don't got the sun. We got no sun, you know what I mean? Like, and just everything is like, ugh. Literally laughing my ass off. Chunky ass pigeon. Oh yeah. Is the picture here? Obviously, if I texted it to somebody, it's here somewhere. because I took the picture on my iPad. I gotta find it here. Chunky ass pigeon, where you be? Man, sometimes we send each other a lot of pics, eh, girl? Okay, it's not gonna show up super good, but like, look at that. He's like proud, eh? He was like staring at me and like puffed out and like, oh baby, hey, how you doing? I'm not sure why I call him chunky ass because you can't really see his butt, but chunky chest. Chunky chest. I don't know. Joe, I had a fantastic day down my mom's today. She's gonna make some eclairs, but I used my battery filming the red kites. It was unreal. I've never seen so many. There was at least 20. Oh, check that out. Did you post it? I haven't really been on YouTube at all today so much. I didn't even listen to, did I start it even? I don't know. I usually listen to Paul in the morning, but I didn't. Or I started it, but I didn't finish it. I can't even remember. Emoji King, my soul went through a portal a couple times. Emoji King says, I love you, eclairs. I'm going to make a point of eating 6 of them when I'm done doing my fruit detox. Yeah. Right on, David. I'm up for the tattoo van plan, G. Oh, man. Now we just got to figure out a way to get across the pond, eh? Yeah, Joe, awesome one. That would be a new level, Genevieve, eh? Tattoo on the go. Ooh, nice. Tattoo on the go. Yeah, tattoo on the go. Yeah, pretty chunky, eh? Good looking. Yeah, Michelle, he's a proud boy. I don't know, when he was checking me out. Anybody here a shapeshifter that shapeshifts into a pigeon? Because he was checking me out, I swear. Emoji King. Yes, we got a trinity, David. Emoji King says, tattoo van, I'm in. If the van is more than 30 years old, get insurance with Haggerty. Is that a real insurance place? Because I'm Canadian. We don't have Haggerty. Less than $200 a year if it's attached to another insurance. Oh yeah, we don't want like a new fancy van. We're not getting one of those vans that's gonna stop at the lights, right? We're gonna get an old fashioned. Ooh, let's get a Bronco. Let's get an old Beetle. Right? Really small. We don't need so much room. The chat's done. Oh man. We don't need a lot of room. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Scooby Mobile. Exactly. Let's just get a tour bus. 99 red balloons. We love that. Same here, Michael Joshua Lewis. We're under, it's been cloudy and rainy here for weeks. Same with us. Except we've had snow or rain. And mostly cloud, not very much precipitation, to be honest. Turtle, slow and steady, wins the race. 62, 6 and 2 is 8. Yes, David Barry, a VW van with surfboards on the roof and the bike on the back. Yeah. Yeah. I have not surfed yet. I've only ever saw a surfboard in real life once. I was in Tofino at a surf shop. I've only ever seen a surfboard in real life once, and I might have had the opportunity to surf then because the waves were really high and I had the wetsuit and everything. October in the Pacific is not so, you know what I mean, it's not so warm. But I chose not to because I saved it. I know I'm gonna surf. I don't know when, but I always have said I'm gonna surf after I'm 50. And my birthday's January 7th, so let's get it on. See how long that takes, eh? Little bit of goddess in our life. You okay, dude? Ishtar, communion, 23, 2 and 3 is 5. What's with the 555 and 555? What does even that mean? Like, what is with the amplification of the 555? And I don't know if I'm the only one. I'm not sure to what point. Like, is this a, common thing going through? I don't even, it's amazing. So, yeah, Angelfish 555. Yeah. Yeah. You just saw 222? Roar. Yeah. I'm catching up to the chat, Angelfish. Okay. Ishtar, communion. Your intimate relationship with the invisible world is being called upon right now as you enter unfamiliar environments and situations. It's time to commune with the great goddess, the aspect of the conscious universe in her most collaborative form. The world then becomes your oracle as it opens up and communicates everything to you that you need in form of songs, omens, signs, and messages. Now is the time to pay attention to the synchronicities and to those moments when logic and reason fail to give you the full picture. Joe, I love that song. I had a crush on her. Right on. David Castle, as long as the smoke rolls out of it when you open the side doors. Hot box, babies! Yeah, that's important. Exactly, David. I think that, yeah, actually a bus would be better. There'd be a separate play area for the kids. I'm on it. Yup, I think so too. Angelfish says, well, Merlin hates the hospital, but that's the good news. Okay, is there any other news? Oh, awesome, you can't tattoo the kids. Oh, God. You guys can't tattoo the kids. No. I'm really open with children, and I really do believe that, you know, they got to say in a lot of stuff, but your body's got to be kind of grown, right? Your body's got to be kind of grown. Amy was about 6, 7, 8 years old when she started all the time. She would randomly ask me every day, how old do I have to be to get a tattoo, Mom? And I would say, when your body is fully formed the way you believe you need it to be, and when you absolutely know what you want. And her father would be like, never, you're not allowed to get any. When she was 16, I think is when I forget if it was 16 or 17 when she got her first tattoo. And yeah, her dad is still not impressed to this day, and she's on her third, I think. She's basically working on a sleeve. So she's got like rose lilies and roses, fleur de lis, like the fleur de lis is Quebecois, lilies and roses. And she has this. So my Gerbera daisy that I have here that has zero shading, like there's no color in mine, my daughter has it right here. And hers is right here. So mine, I made mine to be like of me with my faith, hope, and charity. My arrows, one going up, one going down, as above, so below, and the anchor, right? And hers is here, and it's got the slight like shading. And the Gerbera is something, it's my favorite of all the, like I love daisies. Daisy's my favorite flower. And the Gerbera is my favorite of. And then it's like just regular ones that just grow wild are my second. And then the Shasta. But, so the Gerbera, I had gotten married with that. And when I was pregnant with Amy, I had gone for my ultrasound. And when I had Samuel, I didn't want to know. I wanted to live old-fashioned, old school. You're pregnant and, you know, you don't get to know. You just either know or you don't know, right? So we lived it that way. But when I had Amy, I absolutely wanted to know. First of all, just because she was the second one, because just whatever, I wanted to know. Anyways, so when they said it was a girl, we went straight from the ultrasound to the flower shop, and we bought 2 separate pink Gerbera daisies, one for his mother and father and one for my mother and father, right? 2 separate ones, and gifted it to them. I not seen it, but Amy says that her grandmother, like her Anouk's mom, so my mother-in-law, she had pressed it, and she still has it like in a frame for Amy. Amy. No, we don't tattoo the kids.
That was the one sentence I heard, and I was like, what?
Yeah, we don't tattoo the kids, but we could have pretend tattoos for the kids. That would be fun. Oh, speaking of that, when we got, like, me and Amy, we both got this on the same day. In 2018, and the print, so the like she printed it up and then she put one on Lily, that like so Lily had it for like 24 or 48 hours, the imprint of a tattoo as well, but hers didn't last. Angelfish, Ninja Kitty has been home since Merlin has been gone. Yeah. Good. Protection comes in all forms and energies, eh, sweetie? When I was awake this morning and I couldn't fall back to sleep, the way that the cat never comes and sleeps really here unless he wants attention, then he leaves again. But anyways, so I flipped my whole body to be like just petting the cat, and I was just like thanking him because the third energy, and he grounds me, he anchors me, and he to me, he's my watchdog. So, and he's even safer than a dog because a dog barks if there's anything alarming, and the cat, he just sits and looks, and his whole body becomes in a position that's so like me knows what he's warning me of now. no matter what. So I'm really grateful, especially with the events that we had happen in March. If I would have had a dog and he would have been loud, it would not have been in our favor. But having the cat and the way that his stance, just thanks to the cat. Angelfish says Merlin hates them because the tubes won't reach to the toilet and he hates to poop in a bucket. Right on, Joe. Your wife's going to bed soon. Sweet dreams, beautiful soul. David, you got your first tat at age 16? I was 21, 20 or 21. My first tat is this big, and it's a dragonfly on my hip. I waited till I was 21 because if I would have started getting tattoos before my 20s, I'd be full of 666 and crosses and certain things, which I would still write, but I don't really suit that, right? So I got like dragonflies sporadically placed a little bit everywhere on me, but I don't think I could hold up the 666 and the upside down cross vibes and all that shit right now, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't think I could, not only don't I think, I know, right? So he's kind of glad that I was like that kind of person that was like, I'm gonna wait till I really, and then I'm on a whole other vibe, right? You've got 5 now? Same, I got 5. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm like, where's the 5th one? Angelfish, 2 homemade tats before I was 16, and then 2 real tats when I was 26, and then 32, and then 4 tats in total. Right on, Angelfish. Yeah, my first, like my ankle one looks very homemade-y. You know what I mean? It's not a quality one, but I needed it at the time, and I love it. And it's not the most professional of work, you know what I mean? But me not care. Me not care. Joe back in, and my daughter will be 24 next month. Right on. That's awesome. My dude turned 24 on April 7th. David Barry, you did an apprenticeship in a tattoo shop for a couple years. You moved back to America before you finished. Right on. Cool. I was doing lines the other day, and I was wondering, I was like, I wonder if I would ever have the balls to like actually imprint somebody's body. I'm definitely not, you know what I mean? It's not something where I'm at right now, but I can't see that I would ever say that I would never, but I can't imagine it either. I'm not so good at wanting to touch people. I see more myself lying there and like, tattoo me, go, go, go. Right? Angel is on my right shoulder and a muse down my spine. Oh. And a cross on my left wrist. And pros as a sign on my neck. Pose. I don't know what that means. What's pose? Honeybee. Oh, honeybee. Bee, 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 bee. Ooh, it's a 7. Me's a 7. Bee spirits. Sweet results await. Zzz, nice. Bee spirit. The bee spirit's message is that sweet rewards are on their way if you are willing to get out of your own ego and immerse yourself in the connected energy of all things. Bee spirit knows not to let a sense of being a separate self get in the way of a good thing. Spirit is always producing honey. Miracles and magic are everywhere. And when you connect with the great hive, you are vibrating. Oh, it's so dark. I broke the light bulb last night, so I can barely see. A great hive and buzzing in exquisite harmony with all the bee spirit asks that you focus, your focus be on connectivity, your body, heart, soul, and psyche experience total interconnectedness and true integration when you self-forget, when you remember that you are part of a unified consciousness. Moving from separation into connection, from self-centered limitation to spirit-centered infinite possibility and potential, you become as busy as a bee, enjoying the gifts the bee spirit has to offer. Fully in alignment with your higher expression of yourself, your heart opens and creativity rushes through you seemingly without effort as you experience that nothing feels like work. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be, get it? Industriousness is driven by enthusiasm and inner motivation, and time seems to fly by quickly as the hive supports you in making honey. Magical results are taking form and will be sweeter than you expect. Bee Spirit wants you to remember that your part in the divine partnership with the conscious universe is being rewarded even if you can't see that yet. And ask that you share your good fortune because there's plenty of honey for all. Be a part of the larger whole, the force that brings forth all that is sweet and delightful. Hey Marcus, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Marcus Lloyd. Yeah. Marcus, hello, friends, comrades. Emotions are permeating. This is why we all have to know who we are, because not all emotions belong to us. Thank you, Marcus. Exactly. Nails it. Yup. Yup. Yup, yup, yup. Bumblebee medicine. Yeah. David Barry, I'm passing the bee everywhere in the past couple days. Right on. Good. Yeah, I have a lot of bee sinks these days too. Not real live ones because it's too cold, but I have the bee sinks are still, they're huge even considering that there's no bees. You know what I mean? As well, earlier I filmed a quick little vid. I didn't upload it. I don't even know if I will. Like, I don't know. The ice has started to form in Calendar Bay, in the bay of Lake Nipissing. And so we stopped really quick and I went and grabbed a vid and I looked up and at one point Lily was like, is that a turkey vulture? Because they're gone. They migrate a couple hours south. And I was like, no, and it was crow. But in my head, I was like, damn, like, because when we go to Calendar, the eagle nests, like, blah, 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 we know where they are, and we usually can see we usually will see the eagle, but we didn't. And so I was like, oh man, okay, we're on time. That's not one of the things of today, but as soon as I pulled off out of Calendar and onto the highway, the first truck that was right in front of me was Eagle Transport. And it was like I got 3 for the like asking of 1, right? I didn't I ask to see an eagle. You will see one within 10 minutes. It's just going to be on a transport, right? Not in the air. We can ask, but the form of what we get delivered is not always, you know what I mean? There's many different forms. Hey, Triple B's Farm. Cheers, fam. Stay lifted. Happy holidays. Happy. Right on. I think I'm going to get water, circulate a bit. I don't think I'm going to go too much longer unless I really get like, boom, amped up and let's go. But we'll see. Angelfish, did you see that message I sent you, G? They all stand at the bus stop with her mask on, yet me and the kids are not allowed to stand with her. Like, what the fuck? Yup. And, people are making choices. There's a lot of fear for somebody to have the bravery to just tell you what they needed as a boundary right now, Angelfish. Right? This isn't personal. It's not because of you and your children. You're not being shunned because everybody can't stand your face. It's because there's so much fear in the air. So, you know what I mean? For someone to say it to you, text it to you, and let you know, that's not easy for people. It's not personal, sweetie. You're so blessed to have timelines. Your kids are in school. They got friends. You guys have some stuff going on. So, you know what I mean? For a couple weeks, somebody's choosing to say, like, I don't want to make my grandmother sick. I can't stand with you. That's her timeline right now. It's not personal. You know what I mean? It's not. People are making choices. There's boundaries. There's so much stuff. And, like, I don't know. No, the timing sucks because, like, just everything's at the same time. I'm sorry if that's not, a lot, but we haven't had timelines for going on 2 years now, Angelfish, right? So just all of it, I get it. Believe me, we've had everything ripped and taken and nothing's shown up instead. Like, as magical as it is for me to have this connection and how everyone loves Lily, y'all do. This still, right? I respect them. It's sad because it's hard to explain to the kids. Yeah, I get that. But your kids, you know what I mean? Like, crystal children know what's going on even more than we do. Things that we think hurt them don't actually even fucking affect them. Or it does, but that's what they need to live to feel something too, because they have their own little soul journey of what they are feeling and living through all this too, right? Yeah, it is difficult to explain to the kiddos. I'm so, I feel, I wish that Lily would have been a baby because then I wouldn't have ever had to say anything, right? But once you get past a certain age, like, it is horrific what we and what all parents across the world that we have to tell our kids and what we choose. It's, it's, you know what I mean? Like, holy shit, we grew up in an era, guys, where don't put a bag on your head, right? You can't breathe if you put a bag on your head. Well, essentially, people got like a half a bag on their face, like all day long for like almost 2 years now, right? Like, it's so nothing makes sense. We tell our kids that we can only have fast food once in a while or never at all because it's not good for you, but it's considered an essential service. How do kids even like grasp that, like, we couldn't buy shoes, sandals, pajamas, t-shirts, art supplies for 4 fucking months last in the winter and spring. We weren't allowed to buy clothes, guys. They were hanging in the stores, but we weren't allowed to buy them. It wasn't considered essential to buy clothes. No joke. That's what our reality has been, was. That's what part of our lockdown was here in Ontario. It's an essential service to go get alcohol. All these dispensaries have opened up. Essential service. They'll even deliver to your door, essential service. Coffee shops, takeouts, all stayed open. Mom and pop restaurants that are individually owned, half of them are not even open still. Why? Because the laws, rules, regulations are so, they're not going to play the vaccine passport game. Like, we're in all of that, right? So it's surreal. I've talked to parents in stores or like in lines and just like really quick little chats, and like, it's like a deer in the fucking headlights of what do you tell your kids about any of this? And there's no, you know what I mean? Like, it was supposed to be just a little bit, and there's no fucking end in sight, and it's getting bigger and bigger, and now we got the vaccines. Like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Two years ago, if we would have went into a store and somebody would have walked in with a mask and a hoodie, we would have ducked for cover and called fucking 911. Without even fucking like wondering, do I call 911? We would have been fucking, you know what I mean? I would have brought, it would have been Mama Bear instinct, like fucking, that's it. And now this is just common, right? But me as like the person walking around with Lily all the time, this is not common for me. You know what I mean? To go into public places. I don't even go out after dark unless I like absolutely want to be a rebel and feel like I'm brave. I'm gonna go out after dark. Like, winter coming and like it's like shitty outside every day and there's like fucking shootings all over the fucking place here. Like, fuck. I don't know what to tell Lily anymore. Lily doesn't even ask why I'm crying anymore. She just fucking either holds me or lets me cry until she holds me, right? There's nothing secure in our reality at all. I don't even know where we're gonna be living in a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, holy fuck. I don't even know if I'm gonna have the internet next week. It's gonna get cut off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's zero fucking security. None. David Barry. I had a kind of funny sync like that the other week. I saw a sign that said danger and a fly really close, then a pick of an eye, and I thought, strange sequence. Within 2 seconds, something flew into my eye. Woo! I was laughing at myself. How's that a confirmation for synchronicities? Yup. Yup. I got an eye sync too of I had stuff and I was just like messing with my eye, and then I was guided into a tarot reading from Chakra Bunny, and the beginning, the Capricorn one, and the beginning of the reading, all she did was like mess with her eye. And at one point, she touches her eyeball, and she says in the stream, she's like, "Oh, now I probably lost a few of you. I grossed you out. I touched my eyeball." And if the comments showed up, and if it's like still there in the vid, I was like, "I'm a mom. You touching your eyeball? I seen everything. That's nothing. Go ahead and touch your eyeballs. This doesn't fucking gross me out." Right? Yeah. David, yes, they are. They're a form of two-way communication with higher self. Exactly, SS. I can't believe the controllers convinced more than half the people in the world that the air is poison. Yep. I think that slowly but surely that number is not half anymore, SS. It just feels like it is. But we'll see, right? We'll see. How was your day today, SS? Yep. I used to, in the spring, I would flip, like my whole body would have a reaction. Like I still have body reactions from the masks. Like it still shocks me sometimes, right? No joke. That's it. But in the spring, I would have body reactions, especially when I would see young people or adults on a bike by themselves with a mask. And I would get so like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And then it just like, it hit me. Imagine how scared you are to get sick and die if you're actually exercising outside by yourself on a bike and nobody can be like right in front of you, and you prefer to put your mask on. Imagine how scared that person is. And when I have my reactions in public now, like when I get like and when I'm shocked, that's what anchors me, is not judging and not no judgment, but just the empathy, the compassion towards that person, that, you know what I mean? Like all of it. I just imagine that people think that the air is going to make them sick instead of better. And that's what's creating so much sickness, right? You cover somebody's ability to breathe all day and get them breathing their own fucking, like, we're supposed to expel that. There's a reason it has to come out of us. It can't stay inside of us, right? So, and then not exposure to being outside because of the fear, and that if you're outside anyways. So isolation is a form of torture. So isolating humans, making humans afraid of other humans, you know. Saturnian sun, what's next? The floor is lava. Yeah. Holy shitballs, yes, just stop in and show some love. I ran a jackhammer all day, so I'm kind of tired. No kidding. Yeah, David says, Ace is a Saturnian sun. One of my favorite jobs was breaking up the driveways with a jackhammer, but yeah, it is very tiring. Yeah. I want to say that it's like, you know, having like the biggest vibrator all day just shaking your body, right? Like, oh my God. Yeah, it is hard work. Your eyes have been itchy all week too, Angel Fish? Love you, Michelle. Angel Fish says it's cold here, but the windows are wide open to cleanse the air inside with the outside. Yeah, we only ever had a window and a half that actually even opens here where I live. Some of the windows, like one of the reasons that there's artwork everywhere in the front is because half of them are broken, so I don't even dare take them, like I won't wash them. I can't even touch them. Yeah, David, exactly. Sitting in your own car with a mask on, with the windows up. Those polar souls are so scared. They need the love and understanding. Exactly. So at first, like the first time, David, oh my God, the first time when I was driving and I looked up and I saw a man in a fucking work truck with a mask, I pulled over and started to cry. And that's been my biggest thing, like for the last 2 years of like, how can men feel like men when they've been completely stripped of fucking everything, right? And one of the posts that I shared last month or a month and a half ago is on Instagram was like, oh my God, all the men you sent to protect us are afraid of the air, right? When they say women and children first, you know what I mean? And just like, who the fuck are the men to protect the women and children when there is no fucking man in your reality and all the men in your reality are afraid? It's fucking terrifying. I've only had 2 people look me down and tell me I have to put on a mask. And they were both 6'4" and fucking way bigger than me and so mad at me. So mad. So fucking mad at me because I was like all little and looking up and saying I don't have to wear the mask. Yes, you do. We all have to. No, I don't. No, I don't have to. And if he would have gotten his way of doing what he wanted to do to me, the one guy, he was so mad. If I would have been a man, he was so mad he probably would have clocked me. Because in the moment of when he was wearing it, he was grabbing fucking milk at like 8:30 at night and he was so angry that he got sent out for milk. Again, the emancipation of baby, there's no milk, you go get it. It was exactly the scenario that had happened. So by the time he got to the store, he was so pissed of being like the fucking mule of the house, right? That having the mask on and looking at me, I mean it. You know when your body knows. If I would have been a man that day, he would have fucking clocked me. But thank goodness, you know, I'm a girl instead and just had to like live the feeling of it, but still, right? And I say that we had a third person as well. A woman, she was walking dogs. We could see her coming. We went into the store, me and Lily, without a mask. She came with her dogs, opened the door to scream at us. Meanwhile, she wasn't coming in. She was just walking by. She came in to scream at us. And when I walked out of the store, she was waiting for me and telling me I need to get back to my own fucking province because I'm from Quebec and I'm going to kill everybody in this province right in front of Lily. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, like, just because I got Quebec plates don't mean I don't live down the street. You know what I mean? But second, like, it was like the whole ultimate of it. You know what I mean? Would she have been as angry if I would have been in an Ontario car? Was it her, like, because in Quebec, Ontario, and the French and English, like, there's shit up in Canada that, you know, it's not always talked about, but it's not always pretty, right? Quebec and French people across Canada, you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason that a lot of French families in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and even 50s and earlier probably, but changed their last name so it didn't even look like French because of the harassment and certain things that would happen with French names. So it was like she wasn't even partaking in the store, and she was so angry that we were in a store that she wasn't even going into. Like yelled at us twice, once with everybody watching and once just like as we were walking to the car. Meanwhile, I don't know what her dogs are like, you know what I mean? Like she's holding them, but it was like, hey Alexander Ganja Shaman, how you doing? Did you dance? SS, I did my shaking last night dancing to the music. Right on. David Castle, have you heard your divinal song yet today? No, I have not. Nope, nope, nope. No, I haven't. I'm trying to think, what's my most prevalent song today? I haven't really listened to a lot. When we were in the car, there was nothing like mega super like yummy awesome of syncs. Yeah, there's no really song that stands out for me today yet. Shit, I was listening to something this morning, but it was on the iPad, so it won't show up here, so I can't remember. I know I had a song on repeat this morning, but I can't remember what it is, and I can't get to it without cutting the stream out. Yeah, I've hardly listened to any music at all today. Yeah, David, the pain in your hands from holding on to that giant vibrator all day is not so good. Yeah. Thanks for being here, David Castle. I'm going to run out real fast. Love you all. Have a great evening. Love sharing the energy with you all today. You as well. Thanks for both being here, double D's, at the same time. David, fuck that. I haven't worn a mask the whole time. It took a while to do, but I've convinced my whole workplace that they aren't fit for purpose. Now no one wears one. Yeah. I had never worn one, and then I wore one once to test myself of how it would feel. And I cried for like 10 minutes after, and then I never wore one again for like so long. But then when the big lockdown happened here in the winter, and how people are and their reactions, I on and off, depending on where I go, do put one on. Why? Because Lily she just doesn't want to live it. It's been too long. You know what I mean? Even we already get looked at in a certain way, but it depends. But it's rare but we only do a certain amount of things, and we can't go anywhere technically really here because I'm not vaccinated. It's not mandatory for children yet, but the vax is available in Ontario. I'm not sure what's going on with that because I don't pay attention to it. I don't know what the numbers are or anything. But yeah, so we can't participate in anything. Lily got invited to a party to go bowling. We only have like one solid like friendship that we have, so she gets to see a child or two little boys once every month or so. And so I cannot attend with her because I'm not vaccinated. And my biggest worry, because she's going no matter what, she needs this activity, right? She ain't had an activity in public with friends in over 2 years, for real. It's just the fact that she'll have a mask on for a long time, and that she'll be participating and playing. So, you know what I mean? And that I can't be there to like watch her to make sure that she's okay. But then again, she doesn't have any health issues. She's never passed out of anything, and da 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 da. But like my one warning to the mom will be, and is like, you really need to keep an eye on her, that she's drinking, and if you feel her energy is different, just text me right away, or you have to let her take her mask off because she's not used to it. Like, you know what I mean? We've only ever worn it for like 5 to 15 minutes max at a time. Sometimes only once a week, sometimes twice. Sometimes just to get out of the house and to have like something to do, I won't stock up and I'll go every day to buy a little something, like a, you know what I mean? Like today I went out, but I know I need coffee, so tomorrow we're going to go out and do something again no matter what, right? And depending on my energy, how I feel, um, depending on where we're going to go. There's places where I talk to the people, so people don't know me here. I'm just like a faceless angel that passes through, but the fact that I pass through the same places all the time, I ask people all the time, how are you? How's your day? You know, and so people naturally tell me things. So I know the history of certain grocery stores that, you know what I mean? They tell me the truth. They didn't have vacation time, and or when they did is when their family got sick or they had to take their vacation because people got sick. So people are running on like fumes, and you know what I mean? The respect. Like the other day, I was in line and there was a lady signing something, and I just was waiting. Just was waiting. And when I got, you know, that she lifted her head because she was done signing it, she said, I'm sorry, I had to do this now. And I was like, it's okay. And then because I didn't need her to tell me why, but then she just spit it out. She's like, the coworker, family member just passed away. And I was like, I knew it was something intense because you guys don't just stand around signing things in between customers. And she was like, thank you. And and that's the thing, is that I know who the coworker is and who the mother is, because when I go, she's the one that was always the kindest, and I would always go grab her line, and then we would joke around of like, I came only to see you and grab some bread kind of thing, right? So my mission in the last year has been to make sure that people do feel seen and heard and supported as they work with the mask. We couldn't have done this radically with everybody standing up at the same time doing the same thing. We needed it to be slow or fast, depending on how you want to, you know, perceive it. But people couldn't all do the same thing at the same time. It just wasn't the timeline that was called in. You know what I mean? And so individually, people are coming into certain things like everywhere, right? But going out and about, making sure that people feel safe instead of, I don't, I've never turned it around to laugh at people or to, like, I'm as much as I come on YouTube to witness and to just hold space in certain things, that's what I do in my reality as well, like, for real. So, you know what I mean? It's important to me that every player plays their part the way that they need to. If everybody had just stopped doing what they were doing, it would have been complete chaos and we wouldn't have gotten through it the way we did in our communities here. And so, like, there's a lot of gratitude for me towards the people who are doing what I couldn't do, is to work all day with a mask, and the subsequent, like, we don't know. I don't know exactly, but when they ask and when they tell me, and then I do know, um, you know what I mean? It's huge. The layers, right? None of this is about me, myself, and I. It's about us all. And, you know, constantly judging everybody and thinking that everybody's done the wrong thing. They didn't. If we didn't have the boots on the ground of the people who actually kept the jobs and did the stuff, we wouldn't have gotten through it, right? If every grocery store, if everybody would have, you know, done the same thing at the same time. Because that's it, is that no matter how evolved we think we are, because we know certain things and we speak up about it and we talk to each other, you know what I mean? 3/4 of people don't even have really our shit together for real. So I've told people on my live streams and openly for like months now, I respect people who get the vaccine and I respect people who are wearing the mask, because guess what? I did the fucking stuff years ago. I'm out of the matrix. Lily Rose not in school. I don't do all the stuff, but there's nobody in our reality, right? I can't jump back in and choose other timelines, but the isolation over 2 years, what the fuck does it matter if I already stand up for myself? There's nobody standing with us, guys. And you know what I mean? Nick, nobody. 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 Right? Mom, a bear, and baby bear got no buddies. Nowhere. So I wouldn't tell a single mom to quit her fucking job and not get the vax unless that was her purpose and her part to play in the moment, because who's going to support her, right? You go all in with faith, going and doing the best thing for the greater good, but then you just got to figure it out, right? Know what I'm saying? Yeah, says the milk guy had some issues with misdirection of anger. Yep. Love you, angel fish. I have to thank all you for holding me up. These are hard things, but it's easier with the love of you guys mooning back. Yeah. Right on. Love you too, Michelle. Oh, wow, another 5. That 555, the 5s, whoa. Athena, knowledge. I'm not going to read it. You get what you get. Knowledge. The owl. Owl sings. David Barry, divided by space, we stand united in a time of need. People need love, kindness, and compassion. Exactly. I've said this a lot in the last little while, and I mean it. Like, especially, it's funny, I would pull the card. It doesn't really matter what we know, because only kindness matters. And the less that we, you know what I mean, have any judgment and just allow for people to feel the love, and you know, when we're out and about, instead of the other emotions, is what helps hold the frequency, right? So, you know, we just, yeah. I still, like, no matter how shocked I get or how, like, all of it, we picked a timeline where, you know what I mean, people are not dying in the streets. This is not a pandemic. People aren't dying in the streets. There's no fucking lineups at the fucking hospital, and, you know, people, that's all the propaganda part of it, or the 1 or 2 hospitals that had issues for a certain amount of time, and then it got, you know, whatever, that's not what's happening, right? About, I don't know, is it a quarter maybe or a third? maybe even half the deaths that are declared as COVID aren't even COVID, right? People in a hospice who have COVID are written as a COVID death, but meanwhile they had leukemia that was terminal. They only had a few weeks or months to live. That's why they were in a hospice, but it's marked as COVID, right? Somebody dies in a car accident that had COVID, and it's COVID that killed them. Well, no, actually, it's not. The COVID had nothing to do with it. They had an accident. It's the other truck that hit them that killed them. The car accident, right? People have a heart attack. COVID's just a word for a flu. You know what I mean? So just because you sneeze, everybody can call it COVID everywhere. Just because they put like a swab on you, they can call it whatever they want. It's just a word. And I say that, and there is sickness around. But this is what free wills of souls have chosen as their exit points, right? We needed portals for people to exit rapidly. So therefore, that is it. And then, or what do we learn with the ripple effect of when people are sick, right? Within now our tribe and community, last year at this time, we could all say, we never met anybody with COVID. We don't know anybody with COVID. But now I got people who's like literal families. Like either the whole family, half the family, I know my sisters, my people here have had COVID. Right? So whether it's a flu or whether it got the name, whether it's not, they were really sick. Some of them still are right now, right? So boom. It's gonna be my last card, and I'm out of here. Skunk, know your worth. Number is she? 54. 5 and 4 is 9. Love you guys. I'm just gonna wrap it up and just be done. I don't really have a super evening. Thanks for coming in.